The things that I've been really proud of through my, gosh, almost 25 years now, just to being a member of the PRCA and announcing rodeos and, even beyond that, before I joined the PRCA, is the way that our sport responds to, and it's not just rodeo, it's bull riding, it's big horse shows, the way that our sport responds to those who have served, whether it's in the military or even police departments, fire departments, things like that. Our sport really recognizes, I think, and you saw this even as Miss Rodeo America, how much those people have given to all of us in this country.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. That reminds me, too, I mentioned an article about Hadley Barrett and his advice, all the years that he's announced and all the knowledge that he has. Towards the end, he said something to the effect of, if you can talk about the American flag and make people in the audience, tear up or
Yep.
feel something about it, that's you've done your job. And I think that speaks very highly of rodeo. And that reminds me, too, of the ERA posting about prayer before the rodeos and stuff like that. So I think that's all very important, and I'm proud to say that it is.
So this weekend when I was in Nacogdoches, Texas, I discovered a new organization. It's called Warriors in Rodeo. I'm not saying a new organization like they just started, but a new organization I hadn't known about before. Nonprofit organization designed to give back to those who protect our country's freedoms and safety. And joining us is, I think, one of the founders, Sheri Smith, who is a veteran of the United States Navy, and joins us on the phone. Sheri, welcome to Western Sports Roundup. Thank you for giving us your time.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be on.
So talk about, I use the phrase new because, it's like I had just discovered what you guys are up to, but how long have you been around and kind of talk about the purpose of Warriors in Rodeo?
Okay, I sure will. Well, it started back in 2014. I'm a PBR certified sports agent, and I was representing, not as a full agent, about 14 different athletes. And my heart is always towards veterans, always, even myself, my husband also. And so I thought, I really need to use my skills and my talent and my connections to benefit our veterans. So I found two and called them up, asked them if I could be their agent for free. And they were active duty Army. So I helped them transition from active duty to civilian life, helped them get back on bowls, and kind of just stood behind them, was there for them when they needed me. Well, the word got out, and it grew, and we made up our own name, and the members are very involved in every decision, so they made up the name. And then in June this past year, it was big enough that I said, I don't think I want to do this underneath my corporation anymore. We do need to become a nonprofit. Yeah. And so we went through the process of that, and here we are. And now we have bull riders. In fact, I was just talking with a team roper earlier. We have bronc riders, barrel racers. We have people that are stock contractors. We have ranchers. We have just about, we have an announcer. We have funny men. We have anyone involved in the ranch and rodeo industry. And I leave it fairly open because the primary goal of our organization is called Not on My Watch, Operation Not on My Watch. And, of course, we all hear about the high rate of suicide.
Right.
We hear about the trouble with PTSD and depression, loneliness. So, in fact, right now as we speak, I have a group of 6 people chatting, forming the organizational side of that for Warriors in Rodeo because it's so important. And I've already seen such huge success with that in our organization. I personally helped many. In fact, I had a young man text me and say, we call it Warriors in Rodeo, and I know the word war sometimes isn't politically correct, but the fact is we are at war. And our organization is at war. We're at war against depression, against suicide. We're at war against PTSD. We're at war against loneliness. And so we're very much combating those things. But I had the same man text me and say, war gave me purpose when I had none.
Wow.
And I had another young man who was homeless. He's in the Marine Corps. He's not active duty. He's a reservist. And he was homeless for a while. And we helped him through that time. And he's doing great now. He's back on his feet. And they volunteer. You know, they call me up and they say, hey, Sheri, I have some time. What do you need done? I'm like, okay, are you sure? You sure you want to have the list, you know?
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
So it's their organization. They build it. They run it. They make it happen. Whatever they want to happen, they're going to have to make happen, too. So they're very, very active. Most of them are. And
Sheri Smith joining us.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say we're kind of up against a break where I need to take a time out. But let me have you stick with us, Sheri. We'll take a break for just a couple of minutes. We can talk more about this. Warriors and Rodeo is a nonprofit organization designed to give back to those who protect our country's freedoms and safety. The website is warriorsandrodeo.org. That's the website. We'll talk a little bit more about with Sheri, get some of the specifics of what they do and what we can do to help them. On the other side of this timeout, you're listening to Western Sports Roundup on Rural Radio, Sirius XM Channel 147.
More Western Sports Roundup coming up on Rural Radio.
It's the comedy spectacular that's got America laughing from coast to coast. Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, and the We've Been Thinking Tour. RFD-TV will be there at stops along the way, so come by early. Look for our booth, say howdy, and register to win a pair of VIP backstage passes to meet Jeff and Larry. Watch for ticket giveaways on the Market Day Report. More dates are being added to this sold-out tour. For the full schedule and advance ticket information, go to RFD-TV.com.
This is Mark Oppold, a closing recap of the grain trade on this Crop Report Thursday. And it was the day for grain futures to look at a lot of numbers. Preliminary corn acres placed 93.6 million above all trade expectations. Soybeans more in line at 82.2 million. All wheat 49.6 below all trade expectations. Quarterly corn stocks placed 7.8 billion bushels. Average soybean stocks coming in at 1.5 billion. Wheat 1.3 billion bushels, all at or close to the average trade estimate. Soybean futures starting higher, weakening into the report, rebounding slightly into the close, back and forth on the day. Wheat had its lowest close since the 1st of March yesterday. Lower acreage numbers certainly helping out today. 10 to 14-day weather forecast showing a high chance for rain in the western plains. For the latest market information, tune into Market Day Report weekdays starting at 9 a.m. Eastern on Rural Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 147.
Livestock, grains.
Get started with that overnight trade.
Losses and gains.
What an eventful day it is.
Every weekday, RFD-TV keeps viewers up to date, not only on major market moves, but on their causes.
It's a little bit of everything you talked about that's driving the market.
With expert commentary from the center of it all.
Volatility is extremely high.
Count on RFD-TV's Market Day Report and Rural Radio on Sirius XM to make sense of what's driving the market. RFD-TV, Rural America's most important network.
Well, we've rounded up more and we're back. It's the Western Sports Roundup on Rural Radio on Sirius XM.
Welcome back to Western Sports Roundup. Amy, I told you I like this outfit. Warriors and Rodeo, warriorsandrodeo.org. Sheri Smith joins us. She's one of the founders. This is a cool organization.
Yeah, it sounds great. And I just love that people are always looking out for those who have given everything to protect us.
Yep, absolutely. So, Sheri, you've got members, and we've got about 5 or 6 minutes here, so I want to kind of get through 2 or 3 points real quick. Your members come from not just military service, but from fire departments, police departments, things like that, right?
Yes, sir. That is a huge difference about our organization. I am the founder and the president, and my vision from the beginning was to give back to those who serve right here in our country. You know, this is kind of an interesting story for you, but I was laying in bed the other night, falling asleep, and I get a message from one of our members who is serving in Jordan right now in combat, and he sends me a picture of his Humvee, and I'm thinking, wow, you know, we've got these people overseas protecting us from terrorism, and then I began to think, you know, right now, my favorite number is 911. Right now, I can dial 911, and a firefighter will run into my home, into the flames to save me. EMS will drive as fast as they can to get to me to save me. Law enforcement will come and be shot at to save me. So, yes, they're members. They've earned it. They've earned every single benefit as anyone else in our organization.
Let me ask you about your three missions. Missions are the following. You say in some of your information you sent me. Number one, Operation Not on My Watch. We talked about that. Operation Armor and Operation Gratitude. Are you trying to actually raise money to be able to send equipment overseas to those who are serving overseas right now? Is that what Operation Armor is all about?
Well, Operation Armor is for those here in our country who are competing. So we want to be able to provide their protective gear. So, for instance, you know, our military or firefighters, whoever, they put on a helmet, they wear protective gear to serve us. So now we want to protect them. We're wanting to provide their helmets and their straps and their vests and their ropes. And those that aren't competing, a way to say thank you is say, here, you know what, you're not forgotten. We want to give you a pair of cowboy boots. Or here, this company has donated a cowboy hat for you. Like right now, I need about 50 Western shirts donated. So our members can all get a nice Western shirt to wear with Warriors and Rodeo on it. And it's not that it's going to financially change anyone's life, but what it does is it backs up our first mission, Not on My Watch, saying you're not forgotten. Right. So for our ones overseas, I just sent a box of stuff over. Some companies donated magazines, calendars, shirts, koozies, whatever they want to send me, I'll put in a box and send to one of our members. So our ones overseas, they have our hats and shirts, and they get goodie boxes. We have two in boot camp right now, so they'll be getting some things in the mail to say, hey, we're here. We've got your back. But we do want to provide their protective gear as a way of saying thank you and helping them to be protected in the arena. I just can't imagine these people who will risk their life for us, and then they have this just run-down vest, broken helmet. It's not acceptable to me. And, most of us can afford to give a little bit, and some can afford to give a lot. And we can do that, and it's not just physical, but it's also saying thank you to them. And it means a lot.
Were you surprised at all to learn how many people who've been in the military, been in the police department, been in the fire department, also ride bulls or bucking horses or rope or barrel race or whatever?
No, I'm not. Because when you're dealing with that high-stress environment, you have to have a logical transition, especially in the civilian life. So, for instance, I got to know Lynn Maddox. Probably most of your listeners know him. And he was saying when he came back from Vietnam, the only thing that helped him was getting on a bull. Because for that moment in time, his brain stopped thinking about war. And so a lot of our members need this as a transition, as a coping mechanism. So while they may not be trying to become PBR World Finals, although a few of them are, or PRCA, I've got some in the PRCA actually, or trying to get into it. Right. But a lot of it is in practice tens or in smaller associations to where it's more of a therapy. Absolutely. People can, if somebody wants to call me up and say, hey, do you have a member that needs a helmet? I'll get it on a member. The money can go through Warriors and Rodeo, but 100% of that's going to go to that helmet. And or if someone wanted to say, hey, I'd like to purchase, a couple pair of straps for your members, well, that will all go to those straps. So, absolutely.
Interesting.
And then our third,
what a great mission you guys are on.
Thank you. And then our third one's Operation Gratitude, and it's really neat because we have people like Mike Lee, Cody Custer, Vicki Christensen, Rodeo Rex, Say I Want. We have companies that want to give back, that want to show their support, and like you're part of Operation Gratitude. You're saying, hey, I have a way to help get word out about your organization. I'm going to use what I have to benefit your members. So that's what it's about. It's those who want to give back, even if it's just a video saying thank you, or cards, or maybe they have a ranch, or they have a hunting club they want to invite some of our members to. I co-produced a movie called Surfers and Cowboys this past year, so some of our members want to go surf with some pro surfers. I'll make it happen.
Yeah. Wow.
Because part of it is they need to have fun. We need to give them hope, things to look forward to. We all deal with enough stress day to day, and Warriors and Rodeo is a safe place. And
warriorsandrodeo.org is the website. I'm sorry, Sheri. Warriorsandrodeo.org is the website. Real quick, and we've only got about 30 seconds left, unfortunately.
Yes,
I told you we were going to run out of time, but we'll have you back on. For folks who want to help out, just in a few seconds, kind of where can people go? And do you need money? Do you need equipment? What do you need?
Both. We then go to our website, warriorsandrodeo.org. We do need equipment, and we need all different things. You know, you can just imagine any rodeo event, and we would need something for that. And even just the cowboy boots, or if they want to give a Cavender's gift certificate, I'll stick it in the mail to one of our members. And then, yeah, absolutely financial donations. That would be wonderful. As far as to help me with the postage, to mail this to everybody, or if they have a specific thing they want me to use it for, I'll use 100% of it for that. And we need volunteers sometime. There's a lot of things that we could use help with. People are wanting to set up booths at events and sell our product. Benefit events would be amazing. If there was an event that said, hey, we want to do a Warriors and Rodeo benefit event and give us the donation back, we need those. That would be huge for our organization.
If folks go to warriorsandrodeo.org, they can find all your contact information. And if they're listening right now and they have more questions, I'm assuming they can just send you an email or drop you a note and get a hold of you, and you'd be happy to answer any of those questions you have. Sheri, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it. Sheri Smith with us, warriorsandrodeo.org. Like I say, I found that fellow came up and told me about the organization down in Nacogdoches when I was there last weekend. Got interested and decided that we'd share their story with all of you, and we'll have Sheri back on again with us sometime soon. When we come back, we will look ahead to the Ram National Circuit Finals Rodeo and talk about what's coming up in Kissimmee, Florida in just about a week from now. That's coming up next on Western Sports Roundup.
More Western Sports Roundup coming up on Rural Radio.
Total Equine, developed by Dr. Harry Anderson, is backed by over 45 years of scientific research on equine health.